This video is going to be a review instructional video of the BLAZEvideo trail camera. Now, anyone that watches my videos know I really get into a product. I give a lot of detail. I do a lot of talking. So stand by. We're going to get going with this thing. We get the box. We get a card, a thank you card. It comes with a strap that we will talk about in a minute. Comes with a USB cable. You can plug this cable into the camera and then connect it to your computer so that you can transfer the video or photos if that's the way you want to do it. On the box, it's a 16 megapixel, probably photo, 1080p, full HD, 20 megapixel, night vision. I think that's what that means. IP66 waterproof, so you can keep this thing outdoors, and a 2.4-inch LCD screen. So let's check out the camera now. That's the really important thing. LEDs, we've got the motion sensor, we've got a lens over here. Let's open this thing up now. Let me put this on the tripod so it becomes easier. As I do on all my videos, if you like my videos, please do a thumbs up, subscribe, or a like. This is YouTube channel Learning Chords. If you want to donate to my channel and help me out, please ask for my PayPal info, and if there's a product you want me to review, if I can get a hold of it, I'll do the review. So I already talked about what's on the front with the lens and the LED and the night vision thing. So let's go over here. This is a lot different. It's a much better upgrade than what they sold a couple years ago where they had a cable. The cable actually went from here to this side, and now they've got all the wires internally in the hinge. On the right side, we have the battery section. It uses 8 AA batteries. I believe you can use 4 of them if the 8 just gives you more current so that the thing will run much longer, but you can run it off of 4 if you want to. Look at the bottom of this. We have a quarter 20 tripod section over there. What do we have over here? I think this is the AC adapter. It does not come with an AC adapter. I'm not too, I guess you can use that if you're setting up a security cam and it's going to be indoors. What else? So we've gone over the battery. On the bottom over here, we have looks like you take the top over there, that's where the cable's going to go for your AC adapter. This jack is your USB, so the cable that it came with will plug into here. You can connect this to the computer and you can transfer your video files. We also have an SD card, so if you don't want to use the cable, if you want to take out your SD card and put it into a card reader. If your computer has a card reader, fine. If not, you can buy them for a few dollars, plug it into your USB port, and put the SD card in there, and you can read your data that way. Or your third option, you can actually watch your photos and video on the LCD screen, which we are going to get to in a minute. So, here's the SD card. This is an old style SD card. The most important thing, make sure that it's a Class 10. Class 10 just means it's a newer SD card for more speed. So these are the older styles. It's a full SD card. And you push it in there and it locks in place. You press again and it comes out. And if you have this thing set up and it's not recording or it says no card, then there's a lock over here on the side of the SD card. Just make sure it's in the unlocked position so that you can do recording to the card. And then I just bought a brand new SD card, a little bit quicker, and it's a smaller type. So what you do with this style is you take the SD card and you put it in the adapter, and then you'll plug it in just like I showed you on the other one. Now you have a switch over here that is off, on, and set. The off is obviously off. The on, which we're going to go to in a minute, is when you turn on the camera, and once you have everything set, let me turn it on, you get a welcome screen. Once you have everything set, after you see all your settings here of how you've got the camera set up, and I'll move my camera closer so you can see what's going on there in a minute. But we're looking at the table now, that's why that's flashing on and off and doing what it's doing. So after about 15 seconds, the screen will go black, because you don't want to waste battery power when this thing is set up. So when you have it in the on position, you will obviously close your case and you will strap the unit to a tree, or you can use the tripod setting and set up your camera and then start recording. Now we're going to go over to the set mode, And then I'm going to take the camera off the tripod so you can see a little better what we're dealing with here. So we get the same welcome screen. Now we've got these, we have a menu, and then we have the up-down buttons and the left-right button, and the OK is really like an enter button. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've got it to set, I'm going to go press the menu button. We can see over here, before I do that, we see the shutter, and shutter is showing the right arrow so you can control things. You get the video is the up arrow, playback is the OK button. We have a date, SD shows the SD card is in there. I don't know what the 2530 means. That's the temperature over there. We've got it set to camera right now and a 5 megapixel photo. So and down on the bottom left we have the green thing, which is the green indicator, shows the battery. It shows full battery. So let me go over to the menu now. I'm going to press the menu button. And the most important thing with a camera like this and a video like this is to give you an idea of what's involved, how to set this up. And then I'll show you a couple pictures of night vision and some day vision, and then we'll end the video. So we've got mode over here, and we can see on the right there's a camera, but I'm going to press OK. Now you have up and down buttons, so we have camera, video, or cam plus video. And so I'm going to do cam plus video, and then I'm going to do OK. Then we have language. I'm going to press OK. We've got English. We have an enormous amount of languages on here. I told you the video was going to be long, but it's an educational video, so I'm back to English, and I'm going to press OK. Photo size, I'm going to arrow down. I'm going to press the OK button. Your options, 3 megapixel, 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 12 megapixel, 16 megapixel. So the decision here is how much memory do you want to use on the SD card, and how long do you want to take for the photo data or video data to write to the SD card before it is ready to do the next photo. So it's kind of dependent on your intervals. There's an interval setting you'll come to in a minute. And if you want to take a photo every second, I don't even know if you can, but if you're writing a 16 megapixel photo to your card, you might not be able to do an interval of every second. Plus, you would fill up the card way too fast. So let's go with, for the video, let's just go with 16 megapixel. Okay, you see the 16M over there. It's a pretty impressive camera. Video size, 1920 by 1080p, 12, which is full HD. You're probably not going to find that in a lot of these cameras, so this is fairly impressive. Your lower HD, the 1280 by 720, and then much lower 720 by 480, which is going to give you your photographs, probably not a lot of detail, but if you're planning on putting this outside for a couple months and you just want to have low-resolution pictures, then that would work. So we're going to leave it at 1920 by 1080. Picture number. So it labels the photos. That's probably the photo file name. I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to look at the instructions right now. Let's just leave it at 01 photo. Video length. That's also important, because if you're going to go for a 5-second video length, you might not see a lot of detail. If you got an animal that's going through your backyard, you have a 5-second video clip, you might not see much on there. You just might see the animal roam right past the camera, and you might not get a lot of data. So I'm going to go for a 30-second. I don't know how far up this will go. Probably, I would assume, a couple minutes. No, 30 seconds? Nope. Let's get back in there. Okay, so 30-second video length. We'll do 30-second. Interval, that's what I was talking about before. How often do you want to take your action, like your photo or your video? What is that, 01 minutes? So I'm assuming this goes way past. I should have gone in the other direction. Maybe it's every minute. Maybe it will do it every minute. 60 minutes, and then it resets. 10 seconds. Oh, whoa, whoa. Okay, so what now we can actually go down to the second level. 5 second, let's do, okay, so we have 35 second. Now let's see what other options we have. Sense level, I think that was for the motion, normal, high level sensitivity or low level sensitivity. Let's keep it on high for this. And set date and time. I already said it before, but that is not the correct date and time, but that's going to be okay. This will imprint this on your video, and you can just go in there and do the up, down, and I'm probably going to do the right arrow now. See, it's so very easy to use this thing, and then you can just advance. They could not have made this camera easier for the average person to use. So let's just leave it at set date. I don't think we have too many more options. Date stamp. Do you want the date stamp? Do you want to stamp the info on or off? The date and the time, or the date, or just off? Let's leave the date and the time on there. And then timer, I don't remember what this was. There's a timer. It's a timer. It's a timer of something. I think it's how long does something happen, obviously. But let's go on to the next setting. Sorry, I know I should have had more info. Time lapse. Lapse between your what you were doing before it does the photo or video. Again, password set. If you want to set a password so you can leave this out and somebody else can't go in there and mess with it, you can do that. Serial number. If you have more than one camera, say that you've got 4 cameras out in the field, you want to put a serial number on there, like serial 1, serial 2, serial 3, serial 4, so that you can have your photos, your video, you can figure out where it came from. SD card storage, yes, I am cycle storage. That one of them will, when it fills up the SD card, it will stop, and the other, it will cycle. So when it fills up, it will start all over again and keep recording or taking photos. Format, that's if you want to format your SD card, which I'm going to do when I put in my new card in a minute. And then default settings, which just defaults it to everything that the camera comes with. A version. Version is the software. I don't know if you can connect this with a USB cable and it will update the version of software, or if there is an update even available. So, okay, that covers everything with the menu. So I'm going to go put in my new SD card, and then we are going to look at some of the photos and the video and see what this can do indoors. I'm not going to go outside right now, but I'm going to do this indoors so we can see what this is capable of in the dark and in dim light. So I've got the new SD card in. It does not come with an SD card, so you are going to have to buy your own. They're very inexpensive. I'm going to go over to, we are at settings, I'm going to go over to menu. Format, okay, yes. It shouldn't take long to do. I'm going to do it again just to make sure that I did it. Okay, I didn't do it. Now I did it. Now I'm going to go exit. I'm going to press the menu and exit. And we should have an SD right in the bottom right. There we go. We are ready to record. I've got the manual here. I just wanted to give you some more information that I did not have at the time. So if we are looking at the, remember we had photo number and it said 01, photo 02, 03. That just affects the still photos only, and it decides how many photos are taken per actual trigger, which again is also related to the interval. As far as the video length, you can go from 3 seconds to 30 seconds. Level, the normal, high, and low, that has to do with temperature outside and the sensitivity of the camera. We already talked about the time stamp and the date stamp. Let's go with the timer now. We had timer on and off. That allows you to set an interval of time, a time during the day when you want the camera to take photographs. And if you have that shut off, then it will work at all times. Okay, as far as the time lapse, if you have the time lapse set to on, the camera will take photos and video according to your interval settings, regardless of if it detects motion. So if you're trying to record cold-blooded animals like snakes, flowers, then you would want to use the time lapse. This is going to be a little awkward maybe to see what I've got. I've got my camera, my regular camera that I'm recording now on a tripod, looking at the photographs that this camera just took in indoor lighting, and you'll see in a minute, no lighting at all. And I've got to tell you, before I recorded this just now, I went through and looked at the photos, and I kind of got like chills, thinking, wow, this thing is way too good, and it's freaky. It really is. It's just what it can do with the night vision is. Okay, so this is when I was recording, getting everything set up, doing the video. 89 degrees. I think the room is probably about 84 degrees. You can see I corrected the date and the time. So this is the 5th picture, and I had it, I believe, set for the to take 3 photographs per interval. So that's why we see 3 photographs, and that's a little different angle of it. There's 2 photos, 3 photos. I walked over to my front door, regular nighttime lighting, and it looks like a regular digital camera. It's very clean. It's beautiful. It's an antique doorknob, antique finish. You can see the coloring very well, and this is just regular dim fluorescent light or LED lighting in the room. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we've got 3 of those. Okay, this is the photo that when I saw this, I went, oh my God, look at this. This is in the hallway with almost no lighting at all. Probably, this would be equivalent to if you were in a backyard at nighttime and maybe you had moonlighting, maybe, or a dim porch light from a neighbor. That's the doghouse. I'm just shocked looking at this. I can't wait to use this. That is the doghouse underneath the bathroom counter. You can see the wood floor and the closet and the scale. It just looks like a regular top quality black and white picture, but that's what night vision is. You don't get the color with night vision. So we should have 2, and that's 3. And what's the next photo? Oh, okay. I was in the dark. This is totally in the dark, and I had no idea what I was doing, obviously. So the camera, I was moving the camera around, and it snapped a picture of the dog. I was trying to find out where she was, so I was moving around. And again, this is the first time I've used this camera. I like to do my video reviews of a person who's using something for the first time so they can see what they're going to be experiencing, what they're going to go through. So that was a lot of movement. There should be another one. Oh, okay, so that only took 1. I think I was pressing the shutter button. I was trying to figure out what to do because I was in the dark. So she's sitting there, then she's looking down. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. I can't wait to set this up outside because I know there are some possums or some raccoons outside that we're trying to figure out what they are. Okay, so that, oh, look at that. Oh, she's so beautiful. I rescued her 15 months ago. You know, get a camera like this. You could probably use this for a really good, to see what your pet's doing when you're not home. And you can put the SD card in later. You could use this to monitor what's going on the front porch and check your video later to see what's happening. That's a really good photo. You can see over here, see the door is completely closed. I am in solid darkness. So I'm assuming this little bright thing over here is the lighting from the night LEDs. Okay, so she's so adorable. This is a fabulous picture again. There's that lighting around her from that's the movement. It flashed the picture she was moving. Okay, now, I still had no idea what I was doing. I told you I rescued her. This house is her house. There's a dog bone over there. This is all in total darkness. Completely dark. That's a white wall. That is the circuit breakers over there. That's a towel. It's like a white towel on the floor. And that is one of her 4 beds that are on the floor. That's a fan, that's a keyboard, That's a lamp and a vacuum cleaner. This came out really, really good. It's rooms, I don't think the room's 91. So I would say the sensor is probably off, maybe off by 5-10 degrees, maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe it's detecting the temperature of what the camera is actually looking at. I don't know. So that's a really good picture because that is total darkness. We can see some lighting up on the wall. Again, that's probably from the camera. LEDs doing some night vision lighting. It's an incredible photo. Again, it's a little clearer. You got the stand in the back for the keyboard that's on the floor. I think I'm almost done with the photos. Another picture, same way. And then I was still trying to figure out what I was doing in the dark, and I took a picture of her. Now, this is totally, well, the door's open just a fraction, I think. There's just a bitty amount of light. And that's the lighting again for the camera and the eyes. So for a night vision camera, for a trail camera, this thing is just awesome. And there's so many other uses you could set this up for. Put it in your backyard. If you got a nosy neighbor sneaking around in your driveway, you're going to catch them on this system. So this is really good. This is very good. A little out of focus, but I was moving around. And then we're back to the photograph. I know, I told you I talk a lot. We've got one more to go, and then I'm going to finish the video. So as far as the camera, it's so reasonably priced. It is very easy to set up. I read the instructions a couple times before I did the video, and I went into a totally dark room and got this going. Much credit to the company that sells this, telling you, study the instructions, test it out in your house, learn how to use this thing. Same as if you buy a brand new cell phone or a new camera, a new video camera, a new recorder. You need to study it. It's going to take you a little bit of time to figure out how to use it, how to understand everything it's capable of. Look at the quality of this photo, though. I've got this on a slideshow now. The color quality is excellent. The lighting's really good. Photos are just spectacular. And as you saw over here, look at this, the dog. I can't believe it shows up at the right time. The dog house in a totally dark room. This is just awesome. Awesomely kind of freaky, scary in a way that we are able to take pictures in total darkness like this from home with a camera that's reasonably priced. So great for the trail, great for home, great for a security camera or a security monitor. I cannot wait to get this thing going. I don't even have the SD card in the computer now. I connected the USB cable. Make sure that you use their USB cable. It uses an older style USB connector, and it's probably not going to be compatible with the USB that is on your newer cell phone. So make sure you use their USB cable, or again, you can pop the SD card into the computer, or you can also view it on the unit. Look at this. I've got the, like I said, I've got the cable plugged into the computer, and it even tells you that it's browsing the SD card storage. Just amazing. And just so you can see, it's kind of hard to see it. I've got a camera looking at a tiny display on the camera in a lit room, but we've got the dog video over there. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to press play and see what we get. Okay, it popped over. It was just a few second video. And at the top, we are reviewing the video. Now I'm going to go into reviewing photos. Now, for me, it is a lot easier to review this on a computer screen. But you can see over there, it says 14 out of 28. So that's the doghouse. And we're viewing this on the display of the camera. Let's see, I went to 15. That's where she is in the hallway. 16, she's still in the hallway. Let's back up now. Let's go to 13. And that was the doghouse again with the dark hallway. And there's the doghouse and then the doorknob. So it's very obvious that when you look at it on a computer monitor, obviously you're going to have a much better quality photo to be looking at. But if you're out in the field, this is going to get you through so you'll be able to see what you need to see. The obvious stuff. It's got the clips. You clip this thing closed so that it doesn't get damaged by the elements outdoors, the moisture. You clip it closed. You have clips on the back so you can strap this onto a tree. I showed you it comes with a strap, watertight seal, And down at the bottom again we have the power cable if you need to power this with AC adapter, and your quarter 20 tripod thing. So this is going to be, let me get the manual over here, the Digital Trail Camera SL112, and there we go, made by BLAZEvideo. Trail camera. It's a pretty awesome and extremely impressive product, and it's very simple to use. Again, read the instructions a couple times and mess around with it at home, and then get this thing out in the yard or out in the field and start using it as a trail camera or a backup security camera. It's awesome. Thanks for watching the videos. Again, please thumbs up, subscribe, or a like. Donate to my channel, my PayPal account if you want it, so that I can keep making these awesome videos. And again, if there's something you need reviewed, if I can get a hold of it, I will do the review and pop it on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, people.